Hello viewers, this is Tessa Dark 97 presenting you Emblem Thracia 776 Chapter 4 and Paragon more. We're attempting to start the game, so here's a squad is stuck in a prison basically. So I guess you need to reset to get the right amount of chests, but I literally have no clue on what's right layout, so I'm not bothering with that. So and that moments I was really lucky. So I didn't get moments I was going to rescue Brighton and now I'm keeping such room very good treasure chests. Here do a big brain dumb strat, but it's basically saying it's vulnerability instead of opening a door. So at least get an extra wall, so it's kinda nice. It's basically for turn one just moving around and the objective is chapters to escape, but we have more side objectives that is opening all the doors and letting the civilians escape. I mean, not brigands, civilians up not. So it's pretty much it for most of the chapter. Just move around and let the civilians escape. May not objectives technically to escape, but side objectives are pretty much worth it. Worth doing. I'm just deciding how to attack here basically. This time I'm gonna open a door. And Brian and Macho are gonna kill that soldier there, but we're gonna go to Letters first and get chest key. Well, the short sword just in case we want him to fight and not get captured. It's a technical capture baiting which involves making a unit as bait for getting captured. I won't be using it right now, but I'll likely use it later on. And I'm pretty much gonna kill that soldier anyways. Well, the thief is gonna die and she's technically only hope because she has lockpick. I mean, she'll get captured, but I don't risk, losing lockpick and all. At least, kinda like how she's somersaulting around. I'm just skipping all the text since I pretty much did a complete prepped one. I mean, I did a complete LP with all the story and stuff. Shame I can't do short lances, but so I'm just deciding how to move around. Plan is basically just to at least kill a soldier before you move on. So Lara is gonna open all the doors and we're gonna use a chest key to get a chest until we, open all the doors. Yeah, I'm going to steal sword so I can have a chance of one-shotting a soldier with rat. So this is kind of RNG based and this is a fairly long map. And those brigands try to capture if they can, but for now they're gonna be useful distraction. which kind of helps in his map, especially playing a bit faster. Going back with March 1, getting all the chests on there, just so that we don't have to do it again later on. The number of chests here depend upon the number of items you have in Leaves and Lettuce's inventory. By default, you have a steel sword, javelin, rapier, I guess a couple of walls, and I think a lockpick. I don't remember that much, but pretty sure you have a steel sword, rapier, and a javelin. We're just preparing for moving around. Indoor maps you don't really have mounts, so it kinda cuts a lot of movement indoors for now. So here planning a trade chain, but I don't think I'll be able to pull it off this turn. So I'm planning to trade it on a chest key. Since I don't have a mount here, I can't use Kanto to reach forward or further. Okay, we don't have to put in anything to give to Fergus, so I'm just gonna open the door. We gotta move a bit forward, just sort of get prepared for reinforcements and all. I think I got lucky with the movement levels, so normally she has 6 more. I'm just calculating if we can reach, Those brigands are just gonna die, what? Not really much I can say in this. There isn't except it's bleak. Kinda like how Thracia designed chapter 4. It's fairly difficult. This really feels like an escape chapter, if I'm being honest. Okay, the reason I'm moving Brighton back is to face the reinforcements on the right side just in case I have to face them. Fergus can reach and Leaf can reach. Fergus can reach, so I'm gonna get a chest key and get what is in the chest from with him. Get a rapier, that's gonna be very useful though. Got lucky at a movement star, so I'm obviously gonna take that and get another weapon. Another chest. Got a light brand, that's gonna be nice. I'm gonna use it a lot since I need a brave axe and all that stuff. Brave axe, armor sled, and the flame sword. Stuff people normally get to make this chapter a lot easier, I guess. I just want to beat his ASAP, so we didn't bother doing that. Okay, I'm going to let this around north so we can do a 3-tier lockpick. Yeah, that knight has a wall which I definitely like to have, but alas, we're not going to get that one. Right, back to topic. I like how Thracia designs this map. It's fairly difficult. You have a lot of side objectives. You need to make sure all the civilians escape and make sure all your units escape too. Before the Shia patch, this was before the project itself patch, this was a pain in the ass, mainly because the translation patch with Shia did a poor job of explaining that Leaf has to be last one to escape. So that caused a lot of frustration to blind players. I mean, players who played the game the first time without playing a guide and all. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, we're gonna. So basically, Thracia's not a game which is friendly for blind players. Shia patch probably did a even poor job of it, so Project Exile did a decent job explaining everything. Good job actually. In fact, I remember the first time I played Thracia and Shire patch, I kinda rage quit because I didn't know that, Leaf had to be last one to escape, and I escaped with him, and the civilians got captured, so I didn't know you had Aspel until I checked the guide. Get Aspel in a chapter, and he's one of the best units, so obviously I redo it. I had to redo it until that point, and I haven't played the game since I got Project Exile. If we can't help it, we're gonna use rescue chain to speed up the movement of the civilians to escape. I mean, we're obviously gonna use it, but not now. Once they come near an intersection where, all the other units are near the side. Sadly, I have to use a wall, but we're gonna trade it on a lockpick. If I didn't mess up with movement, it probably. Then I'd use it extra. Then I'll use a wall once more. But, well, can't do anything about it. So I'm gonna open the other door, and let the civilians escape. So this is basically the reason why I'm more Brighton around there. So you can have a bodyguard just in case the reinforcements capture the civilians. We got a lockpick, which would have been nice if we got it a bit earlier, but well, whatever works, honestly. And speaking of Thracia stuff, kind of funny how many stuff I brought in the last time I recorded this chapter 4, and this time compared to this time I recorded chapter 4. So basically bought an iron sword, leaf, bought an iron sword, and light brand, and maybe a wall. That is bought an Azul scroll, lockpick, and iron sword. That's pretty much what I brought. Last time I brought a flame sword and armor slayer, and not a brave axe, but basically I filled up Leaf's inventory, and lettuce is a huge amount, which is unnecessary, I guess. I mean, might be necessary without Paragon mode since we don't have high levels, but high levels and I had a chance to get better stats. But for now, I mean, don't particularly need it for a familiar game, but it does make chapter 4 and chapter 5 do take a time to do it. Sadly can't. Got a movement star. Go to your chest. Get a Azul scroll. So that's going to be useful. It increases HP and strength. Main HP a drastic amount, which is kind of valuable at this point, especially on mages, since HP is low and you want them to have as HP as they can, because fatigue is the thing. So we're gonna give it Aspel as much as we can, along with a certain scroll we're gonna get in the next chapter. But for now, we're gonna mainly use it to negate critical hits on the second unit besides Leaf. Why not give a Leaf, you ask? Leaf is a light brand which gives 10 luck, so along with having a decent base luck, that's like 19 luck. So unless the enemy has a killer weapon, there's no way it's gonna get crit, at least at this point. Especially equipping light brand. They go to civilians. We're gonna rescue drop these two civilians, just so they're in range to escape. And we're gonna just leave to get all the treasure chests, since there's nothing much for them to do. Speaking of that, Lara is probably lowest con and even she's able to rescue the civilians. That's kind of interesting note. Well, got lucky at the moment stars, so I'm really getting lucky with moment stars. Even if it didn't, it'll be an extra 2 or 3 turns probably. It's kind of nice I'm saving turns here because I wouldn't be surprised if Sharp, the Manstrak is where I'll spend the longest amount of time in turn counts. I mean, yeah, this reinforcement will capture all the civilians, so kinda using capture bait here, which I intend to use, but I guess I'll take it to I'll use it to my advantage right now. So basically, you don't want the soldiers to escape the civilians if you want to go to the next chapter and get a guidance. So I'm using a rapier since Fergus is definitely going to kill with it because of his high PCC. Yeah, like rapier's 20 crit and Fergus is 5 PCC. So in case you don't know what PCC is, it's Pursuit Critical Coefficient. So basically multiplies a critical hit with a second attack by a certain number, which and for playable units it ranges from 0 to 5. But I've heard that certain enemy unit, which is Arion, if I remember right, the Draconet in chapter 14, he has a pursuit critical coefficient of 9 or 10 from what I've heard, so I guess it can be more than 5, but for playable units it's definitely 5. And the thing is, mechanics is broken, right? No, crits deal a lot less damage than they usually do, and for the enemies it actually matter. Most units generally won't be able to double them. Sometimes you really want to capture to get all the stuff, so having high percent critical quotient isn't necessarily the best thing. And drones give massive bonuses, so 10 defense and 30 avoid. Just to put it in perspective, so most of the units which have high PCC are rather frail, like mages, or tend to wield swords which have low might. So unless you use a magic sword, that is, even then a magic sword uses magic isn't going to likely high, so that isn't as broken, but it is definitely one of the stuff that makes station interesting. It does make certain units a bit more viable than typical unit, but I mean high PCC units are definitely preferred, but you don't have a good unit doesn't have to have high PCC. There's a lot more to a unit than having high critical quotient multiplier. Right now, preparing for escape. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight his reinforcements, so you can just block and make your life easier. But since I'm playing this a lot quicker than I usually do, I had to beat this. I escaped all the units and beat his map ASAP. I'm not bother blocking them. Instead, I'm just gonna rush upwards. And Thracia's broken stuff all over. And considering the tight SS rank requirement, I guess it's fair in a way. So I'm just preparing for it. So I really want 2 bulkiers in the front. So for now, we're gonna put Leaf in Brighton, but we'll probably put Dalson later on just to divert all enemies towards Leaf. Most of the enemies are Leaf. We're gonna expel Lightbrand to make sure Leaf retaliates, basically. I didn't plan it out, but just can't happen. Don't go kill soldiers on the bottom, but likely kill all these knights on the top, knights and mages. Yeah. So, no. Kind of wonder if you save all these brigands, you get some reward, but sadly I don't. So, just feel free to use them as a distraction. Yep. Only one brigand surviving, and I think even he's gonna die soon. So we're gonna use let us open door, and we're gonna pull a rescue drop so he doesn't die to us. Group of enemies there. So Brian's gonna rescue this guy and get Azul scroll so he doesn't get crit. Brian has a pretty low luck, so we're gonna take advantage of Azul scroll to negate critical hits. Sadly can't rescue with leave, so Brighton is gonna take a lot of hits this turn, but he'll likely live. So we're gonna equip a light brand. So since Leaf has a lot more speed, this drastically makes the map a lot more quicker and easier. But if you didn't, well, I guess bringing armor slayer in previous chapters probably a good idea. But using focus a rapier brightens rat skill. So well, this guy's doing a good job of diverting all the soldiers. That's Dalson. We're gonna recruit him in the next turn. Dalson is, well, I don't know how to put it. He's gonna be useful for this arc, but his low move and high build is gonna make it difficult for making a quick escape in the escape chapters, to put it bluntly. So we're gonna bench him post Mansarak likely, which is a shame because I'm definitely allowed to use his defense. So we're gonna take a guy and drop him off. So kinda lucky that the enemies didn't even have the range to reach Brighton. So we get Dalson and armored axe unit. I mean, he's okay, I guess. I mean, can use him in a strength game, but it is drastically easier if you don't use him at all. You don't have to worry about escape maps. You don't have to worry about him slowing down the units. Doesn't even comment particular skills. And comes in high axe rank, and axe rank weapons it generally are good weapons in low weapon ranks compared to your typical weapons in Thracia. A light brand is not gonna, kind of surprised it does a lot of damage and up close, but I guess I'll take what I get. So Dalton is a relatively high defense, so we'll try to go and go for Brighton or Leaf. So there's only one enemy who can face Brighton, the rest are going for Leaf, and Leaf is pretty much going to retaliate against them and kill them off. At least chip them. So that's a pretty good level up on Leaf. Thracia growth is fairly low, but scrolls do patch it up. But scrolls are kind of limited, and Paragon mode is weaken the experience gain. It prevents me from exploiting it early on, but once I do get them and put on right units, gonna help me speed up the game a lot more. Kinda lucky a leaf is doubling on this light brand. Just speed up the rate at which I can beat this map. The very least. Mage is likely gonna survive. Oh. Mage is dead, so. Which is a shame because I like an extra Thunder Dome. But never mind. He doesn't need to beat all his enemies ASAP and get the hell out of here. The Leaf is gonna carry a lot of combat around here. So we're gonna use a vulnerary instead of using a light brand as an actual vulnerary. So let's just say it's useless for now. We're gonna use it until it probably breaks. Honestly, there's no point in holding it later on. I'm not gonna use light brand as frequently when you get when you get leaf to B rank swords. So it's nice when you get leaf there. And leaves are at C rank if I remember right, so it won't take long, but we're not to. I mean, leaf didn't face a lot of combat and the early chapters, so guess I might as well take advantage of Leaf getting quicker EXP. I don't think Leaf will fight a lot post Monster Rock, especially when playing fast. Apologies if this is, there's some vibration stuff and all. Might be some headphones issue, yeah. The connections and all. That Paragon did a great job diverting all these units. We got choke around here, so March is gonna use Vantage and Brian is gonna rat and one shot them, hopefully. By the way, you don't have to kill them, but does make a good job. Does make it nice we get more EXP and Macho and Brighton. Fairly underrated units. So Macho comes with Vantage. Innate Vantage. It's kind of nice if you do manage to pull it to A rank swords, which is going to be fairly hard on her. You can use a sleep edge and kind of cheese chapter 18 in a way. But, well, we have other ways to do it. Brighton is rat runners in a mount, so he's essentially awesome with no 1 to 2 range but higher move in a way. Since enemy stats generally suck. Brighton will be frequently doubling for the most part. You might ditch him later on for better units. But if Brighton does get good, it's definitely worth using him because Rat is a reliable way to clear enemies in an enemy phase. Well, high pursuit criticals is a reliable way of clearing on player phase. We're gonna save Rat for a scroll Rat for a Nosferatu user to make it more reliable if it's druids and all stuff. Druids, shamans, all this annoying stuff later on, so only Rat Skull Red and Chapter 8X is probably got a Nosferatu user, so it's a nice skill to have if you have it, especially if you can move around a lot. And since Rat is likely to kill all enemies, Brighton has to fight less, so I don't know if fatigue exactly works. If it works per hit instead of per round, then Brian is gonna have an easier time. In joining more maps, and Brian has a C rank in access, so from Ocean alone should let him use all the access he needs. That is something he has over most of Iraq's units. Maybe the exception of Dart Guard and the pre-promoted units. So Halvan starts at D and Orson starts at E. You could pull some potentially interesting strats with Rat and High Move, letting him kill most enemies. So it's kind of nice. Well, the chapter is coming to an end pretty soon, so I'm just checking if all units can escape this turn. So we're gonna escape in this turn, so March is gonna escape. And it is a good idea to spread combat as much as possible to deal with fatigue in chapter 8. Because trust me, you'll need a lot of mounts in chapter 8 to deal with the boss. At least 2 mounted units. You do have 2 mounted units, but 2 mounted units you can use brave weapons, which depending on whether you have brave axe or not. Or brave sword. You're definitely gonna have a brave sword to make it easier, but so it makes capturing a boss a lot easier. If you have 2 units you can use a brave weapon, then 1 unit you can use a brave weapon. You can technically promote and ignore that condition too if you want. Really up to you, honestly. You have a lot more room to play around with Thracia. So I'm checking turn counts, which 18 turns is fairly fast for chapter 4. So well, that should be it for chapter 4. So like, subscribe, and all that stuff.